Hello and welcome to a very late but worth it episode of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for 3 weeks worth of comic books at the tail end of 2014. Those weeks include December 17th, December 24th, and December 31st. So, got a lot of books to cover. I'm not going to have every book here on my reading list, since I was able to get through all my reading list stuff except for the current weeks. So, but I will talk a little bit about certain books as I mention them, since I have gotten a chance to read them. So, alright, let's get right into it, because this is a lot of books. So, first up, we have Batman number 37, Endgame Part 3. I've read the first one of this. I enjoyed it, or first two, I believe, of this. I really enjoyed them, so I'm looking forward to Batman. Snyder's doing a great job, and Capullo's artwork is amazing. So, this is the pull list from, let me clarify, this is the pull list from December 17th. So, this is a few weeks old. Next up, we have Batman and Robin, number 37. Robin Rises this is part 5. Tomas has been doing a great job telling this story. I can't wait to see what happens, since Batman is now at Acropolis and trying to get Robin back, or Damian. Alright, next up we have, hold on, I gotta adjust some stuff here. If I'm only grabbing with one hand, it's because it's cold and my other hand's in my pocket trying to keep me warm, so I might switch up hands halfway through. Batman Eternal number 37. I am way behind on these weekly books. I need to seriously get caught up. But I hear good things about them, so I'm still like, yes, this stuff's good. So next up we have Batwoman number 37. I guess I'll just have to take my other hand out. Batman 37. Andrenko's doing a good job with this book. I've really enjoyed it. I believe it's on the cancellation list for this year, so sad to see Batwoman go, but I've enjoyed the run overall so far. So, yep, Batwoman 37. Next up we have Catwoman 37. A lot of women now. Since the creative team changed, this book has been phenomenally better. I've really enjoyed the direction it's been going in, with Selina becoming kind of the head of a crime family, and just kind of changing things up a bit with how organized crime works in Gotham. But Catwoman 37, check it out. Then next up we have The Death-Defying Dr. Mirage number 4. This series has been okay. Hasn't been fantastic, hasn't been bad, but it's just been okay, so I've been enjoying it. But yeah, Dr. Mirage number 4. Then next up we have Earth 2 World's End number 11. I've actually gotten caught up with a little bit of the Earth 2 World's End books, and I've enjoyed what I've read so far, so they've been, well worth it. But with what's going on with Earth 2 and Earth 2 World's End, it's just great stuff. I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Fables these numbers are always hard to find. 147. Fables is almost coming to a close. I believe 150 is the last issue, so we only have 3 more issues to go. But I've been enjoying it with where it's going. It's a little kind of choppy, like some stuff's left out, but for the most part, it's a really good book. Fables is just amazing all over, or all around, I should say. Yeah, so Fables 147. Next up, we have Harbinger Faith, number 0. So this looks like it's kind of a origin of Faith, the overweight, superpowered girl on Harbinger. So checking it out. I liked Harbinger, and I'm liking them. I like the miniseries that came out of it. I'm hoping that Harbinger comes back. But right now, I think Valiant's experimenting with mini-series more so than actual series. But yeah, Harbinger Faith 0. Alright, next up we have, one of my favorites, Manifest Destiny number 12. This book is amazing. I think I just sold the Volume 1 trade to somebody who comes in regularly as a recommendation, so hopefully they like it. But I've really enjoyed this book. I can't wait to read this. But Manifest Destiny number 12. Alright, then next up we have Morrison's Fun Worlds of the Multiversity, the New Thunderworld Adventures number 1, or one shot. Again, Multiversity has been really great. Morrison's done a fairly good job of making these books really open to readers. They haven't been so confusing. I mean, there's the first issue, and I think the one Pax Americana were probably the most complex issues, but for the most part, just really, really fun, kind of different takes on the DCU that Morrison is presenting to us, and I'm really enjoying it. So, but I highly, highly recommend Multiversity. All right, next up we have the New 52 Futures End number 33. Behind, gotta get caught up. Then next up, I'm so happy we got one of these before the end of the year. We have Sandman Overture number 4. It did have 2 covers that came out, so I'll show you the second cover here in a second. Well, bam, there you go. This is the second cover. Sandman's just amazing. If you have not read Sandman, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you have and you don't like it, I still don't know what's wrong with you. Sandman's amazing. And for Christmas, I actually got the Absolute Death from my fiance, which helps complete my Sandman Absolute collection. Just need to get that doll. So I don't really want the Sandman doll, but it's got a little Goldie in there, so I'm so tempted to get it. But yeah, so Sandman Overture number 4, and again, there's 2 covers to this bad boy. 2 covers. You can pick your favorite, or you can just be like me and get both, because Sandman's awesome. Next up, we have kid book, fun, kid stuff. Teen Titans Go number 7. I mean, it's not great literature, but I mean, it's Teen Titans Go, which is always fun. So yeah, Teen Titans Go number 7. Next up, we have Trinity of Sin number 3. If you enjoyed the Phantom Stranger book or Pandora, you'll probably enjoy Trinity of Sin. Gives a little bit more of the question in it, so that's nice to see. Overall, it's just a good book. It's not great, but I enjoy reading it. So Trinity of Sin number 3. And then last up on my pull list for December 17th is Snyder and Jock's Witches issue number 3. Just a great book. Snyder does a really amazing job with this. I'm glad we get a different kind of view, or Snyder take on Snyder stuff. Not just superhero stuff, but we get kind of the horror and and just occult weird stuff. But Witches is really, really good. So, yep. For my read list for this week, or December 17th, let me get it up here so I can read it off to you. Okay, gotta love the internet. So, first up, we had All New Captain America number 2 from Marvel. We also had Avengers. What are you doing, you stupid computer? I don't want you to do that. There we go, much better. Then we also had Avengers and X-Men Access number 8, which I read, which was Captain Marvel number 2, or Captain America number 2 was okay. Black Widow 13, I read it and enjoyed it. Elektra number 9, I didn't get a chance to read a copy of it yet, I don't think, or if I did, I just don't remember it. So, Fantastic Four 14, I mean, it's okay. Fantastic Four's been fairly good for what it is. We have Green Lantern New Guardians 37, which is part of the Godhead stuff that's going on in Green Lantern. It's okay. Guardians of the Galaxy 22. The story in Guardians is interesting. It's the Venom costume is loose and starts to take over different characters on the team. So Rocket has it at one point, and Groot has it, and so it's an interesting concept, but the writing is horrid. I feel bad with people that come in because we've had a few people come into the store and ask for that they loved Guardians and they want to read something, and I can't in good conscience tell them to read the current Bendis run of Guardians because it hasn't been good. Luckily, we have the Abbott and Lanning stuff, which you can get in 2 trades. Really, really good stuff there. So, Inhuman number 10, which was an Access crossover. I think it was really jarring what Access did for Inhuman. Its Soul was doing an okay job with the book. It felt okay. It felt fair. It just felt like a good book. But with Access, it's like out of left field stuff is going on. And Medusa is now evil and all this blah garbage. So I really hate it when big events kind of mess up the flow of storytelling for writers, and Inhuman is a classic case of this. Moon Knight number 10 is okay. I mean, Brian Wood's writing is alright on it, but I don't know where Moon Knight's going. Was it Warren Ellis's first few issues of it were nice vignettes that had Moon Knight in them, but there's no real substance to the book kind of driving it forward, so which is a shame. Predator Fire and Stone 3 of 4 came out the week of December 17th. Again, I haven't read any of those, much past a couple number 1 issues that I got a chance to read, but I'm looking forward to reading those in trade. I'm definitely going to pick those up because I like the Predator and Aliens mythology. So yeah, Q2, The Return of Quantum and Woody number 3 is out. I'm probably just gonna skip it. I couldn't really get into the last 2 issues. It's with stuff with the older Quantum and Woody, so unless you've read that, it kind of feels out of place. But yeah. Next up is a new Image number 1, Rumble. I don't know if you've seen the ads and image books for a Scarecrow warrior walks into a bar. It was okay. It wasn't great. It didn't grab me enough to be like, oh my gosh, I have to read number 2. It was entertaining, but I mean, we'll see with number 2 how well it continues. But I wasn't too keen on it. Spider-Woman number 2 I have on this list, although I think I just skipped over reading it completely because it's just Spider-Woman chasing one of the extra spider characters during this Edge of the Spider-Verse. I don't know. And the writing wasn't good in the first one, so I mean, I'm not bummed that I'm not reading it. So. Wonder Woman 37 came out, which I don't think a lot of people saw this coming, but there's something at the end of that book that is really, really cool, especially for people who are really into Wonder Woman and into a character that has not been in the New 52 yet, which a lot of people wanted back into the New 52, so I'm curious to see where the Finch clan takes this. But yeah, and then the last one for my reading list for the week of December 17th was 013. I didn't actually get a chance to read it yet. It's an okay book. I mean, it's military kind of buffs of this guy, and yeah, that's what happens. So that was the poll list and reading list for 1 week. Woohoo! But now we get to go to the lovely, lovely next week of the day before Christmas, Christmas Eve. Comic books came out. Your local shop was open and had brand new books. And you probably had no money to spend on them because you bought gifts for everybody else. And if you actually had money to buy comics for yourself, you either have a really great job or you hate your friends and family. Alright, anyway. So let's get started with that one. First up on the list was Aquaman 37. This Maelstrom stuff's been pretty interesting. I'm curious to see how the fuck Grodd gets into this, because it's underwater, man. I mean, come on, I don't get it. So we'll see. But yeah, Aquaman and Grodd. So can't go wrong there. This was also kind of the last week. I think there was 5 weeks this month. This was kind of the last week of the month, so even though it wasn't, so they started releasing annuals. So we have Batman Annual number 3. So I'm curious to see how this stacks up to the other 2 annuals, which were good and I enjoyed. So yeah, so Batman Annual 3 came out. And we have one of those wonderful, wonderful weekly books that I'm so far behind on. Batman Eternal number 38. I gotta get caught up. I seriously, I just have to like ignore the world, ignore my family, and just sit down and read those. Family's gonna hate my guts. Next up, we have Catwoman Annual number 2. This came out Christmas Eve, and I'm curious to see how well this one stacks up because the previous one wasn't so hot. Next up is a book that is actually on my read list, but had to jump to my pull list because of something. Not really any spoilers, but Deathstroke number 3. Deathstroke's been okay. I've been reading it. I've been enjoying it for the most part. But Deathstroke had to jump to my pull list because apparently it's going to cross over with Suicide Squad or have a Suicide Squad story in it. And I love me some Suicide Squad. So at the tail end of this book on the last page, you see Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad just splashed on text on the page. So, yeah. But I mean, Tony Daniel with Suicide Squad, that art's amazing. I'll read that shit. So yeah, Deathstroke 3 jumped from reading list to pull list only because Suicide Squad. Next up, weekly title. I'm not so much as far behind on the other two, but Earth 2 World's End. Looks like it's the Fury War we're getting into, so we'll see where that goes. Next up, we have Flash, number 37. Flash has been really interesting. I've been enjoying it. It's just been a fun book, much like the TV show, but no real relation, which is great because we get a comic book Flash, and then we get a TV Flash, which I really, really enjoy. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, number 13. I think Amanda Conner does a great job with art here in that she makes Power Girl's boobs so large, and she draws Harley's just slightly smaller than normal to make Power Girls look so much bigger. It's great. It's just great. I mean, the book's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's Harley Quinn. What can you do? Harley Quinn also had 2 variant covers. One I didn't actually get to pick up, but hopefully we'll get a copy in because I enjoyed the artwork on that one. But the other one was the Darwin Cook variant, which I have to turn sideways because that's how it looks. But this was one of the ones that Darwin Cook did, and I enjoyed the artwork on this, and so I've actually picked this one up. Not all the Darwin Cook ones were bad. Some of them were good, but some of them desperately needed to be wraparound covers and weren't, which is slightly disappointing, but oh well, who knows. Thrown on here because it was missed the previous week was Justice League 37. We were shorted all of our copies of it, so it finally came in, and so I picked it up right before Christmas. So John's on Justice League. It's good. You need to be reading it. It's just good. Next up, we have Justice League Dark 37. Justice League Dark's been okay since the creative team shift a while back. I'm still enjoying the book for the most part. So yeah, it's nice to kind of see different take with the magical characters of the DC universe in this kind of team Mystics book. But good stuff. Next up, weekly I'm behind on. Need to get caught up on. New 52 Futures End. Yeah. I don't know. I need to pull time, like freeze time, so I can read for like 4 days and then unfreeze time and be like, hi, I finished it. I'm a miracle worker. I don't know what you're talking about. Outcast number 6 comes out. Robert Kirkman's Outcast has been good. I've been enjoying it. It's Exorcist story, so we'll see where it goes. But I've been enjoying it so far. Next up, Tomasi's Robin Rises Alpha. And yes, that's Alpha as in it should be first, but it's not. It's last, so I think this is the beginning of something. So we'll see where it goes. But I'll definitely have to read Batman and Robin 37 before I check this one out. So, good stuff, though. Then next up, we have Secret Origins number 8. These have just been fun, kind of little 52 origin stories for these characters. So I've been picking this book up, and for the most part, I've been fairly happy with it. Next up, we have Sinestro number 8. This is Godhead Act 3, Part 5. I've been enjoying the Godhead stuff. It's a lot better than the stuff that's come after John's. But I mean, it's not John's caliber stuff, but it's still okay. It's still a fun read. Now, there's 2 titles on my read list that coincide with with Godhead, so I'll let you know about those in a little bit. Next up, finally on my pull list is Unity number 13. Unity's just been a good fun book that combines a couple characters from the Valiant universe into one team. So, yeah, but Unity 13. So that was my pull list for Christmas Eve week, December 24th. And I have a ginormous amount of books surrounding me right now that need to be read. It's so ridiculous. Alright, pile, stay and don't fall. Alright, we're good. Okay. Now moving on to December 30... Well, moving on to the read list, I guess. So I have to do my reading list from the previous week. Let me get that up here for you. Or at least for me, so I can read it off to you. So, what came out last week for Christmas Eve that I was on my read list was Aliens Fire and Stone 404. So good thing that these little mini series are coming to a close with the Fire and Stone stuff. Really looking forward to those trades eventually coming out, and me being able to read those Aliens and Predators crossover books. So yeah, Arkham Manor 3 came out. I'm enjoying Arkham Manor for what it is. I kind of wish it was just like a backup story in Detective, because I really don't feel that it's going to. I mean, the book's going to get canceled. It's just a miniseries, but I mean, I really feel like it would have more depth if it was kind of just more. You got more content in Detective with this kind of big story in the back, but who knows? Avengers and X-Men Access number 9 came out. So Marvel was pushing to finish this before the end of the year, pushing to shove garbage down your throat because Access was atrocious. The whole story was just not good. Like it just didn't do anything for me, and it really didn't establish much except changed maybe a couple characters that were villains into heroes and heroes, and like it was just an effort to make Havoc bad. It seems to me Havoc bad and Sabretooth good because there's no Wolverine, so now Sabretooth wants to fill Logan's shoe. I don't know. Access, not good, just not good. Rick Remender's Black Science 11 came out from Image. I read it. It's okay. I mean, I'm not a big Remender fan, but I mean, I've been reading Black Science off and on. It's okay. Bodies 6 of 8. I've been enjoying Bodies for the most part. One story arc I don't like in it with the girl in the future. It's all weird and shit. But for the most part, Bodies has been interesting. So I'll have to actually get around to reading that. I didn't get a chance to read it yet. Cowl number 7. I think I'm behind on Cowl just because we ran out of copies. But I did enjoy what I read before. So yeah. So we'll see. Daredevil number 11 came out. Daredevil's solid as always. I enjoyed that issue of Daredevil. Gotham by Midnight came out, number 2. Just really, really cool stuff with kind of different characters in Gotham and attached to the Gotham PD, and they investigate all the weird shit, and it's pretty cool. Graveyard Shift was an Image number 1 that came out the week of Christmas Eve. And I read the first issue, and it didn't grab me, and it didn't make me go, oh, I need to read the second issue. It's like about a SWAT cop who's on Graveyard, who wants to move off Graveyard, and then he gets to move off, and he's happy, he's celebrating with his fiance, and then they get attacked by vampires. And she's turned into a vampire, and then at the end, she's trying to kill him. So I don't know what to think of that book yet. I don't even know if I'm going to give issue 2 a read. But if you like vampires and police stories, check it out. Next up we have Grayson Annual number 1. I mean, Grayson has only had, I think, like 7 issues, barely anything, and already has an annual. It's a little ridiculous, DC. I read it. It was blah. I didn't really enjoy it too much. Grayson, I think, is suffering from... It had a start to it with kind of establishing Dick as this agent, but it feels kind of like Flavor or like Spy thing of the week of the month, and it doesn't work too well for me. Then we have the Green Lantern Annual number 3 came out, which is the finale for Godhead, which I read, and it was okay. It wasn't fantastic. I can't even remember what I'm supposed to be looking forward to from the next batch of Green Lanterns, but a bunch of the Green Lanterns books are getting canceled, so I don't know what's going on with that. We'll see. Rasputin number 3 came out. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. If it's as short as number 1 and 2, I'll read it just because there's like nothing in the book. Like, you're paying $3, I think, for literally like something that will take you like a minute or 2 to read. Weird. Red Lanterns number 36 comes out, and I think that's part 4 of the Godhead, or Act 3 Godhead stuff. It was okay. Good. It's very late, and I'm very, very tired. You can have a shot now that I yawned. She-Hulk number 11 out. Charles Soule's doing a great job on that book. Art still blah. Wish it was a better artist. But, I mean, it's getting canceled anyway. So, what do you know? Superior Iron Man number 3. Spoilers. He gives Daredevil back his sight and says, hey, I gave it back to you. Now we'll figure out some way to give you this extremist stuff for free so you can still be a... I don't know. If this is Access Tony, it's weird. if it's not Tony because it's not actually Tony because Tony's some, like, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in this book. And I'm only reading it because I want to find out what they're trying to tell us. And if they're trying to tell us anything of substance. Because it's just weird. Shot number 2, people. Alright. Superman 37. Remedial artwork is horrible. John's story. Superman Wonder Woman number 14. Spoiler, Magog comes into the New 52 in that issue. It's pretty cool. Superman Wonder Woman's been an okay book. It's not on my pull list because I'm like, I don't care enough. But for the most part, I've been enjoying it, so I'll keep reading it. So that was a list for Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, there were so many books on the shelf, it was ridiculous. DC released so many books, it was just, oh my gosh. We took up more shelves for DC than we've ever taken up in a long time. And it was just, geez, it was oozing. Like, they're like, let's release every title. And it's like, really? This time of year? Like, you have one more week. You can spread out the wealth a little bit. Nope. They didn't. They didn't wait. They didn't take the annuals and do them, this week for the 31st. They didn't save a couple of them for... No, they just dumped everything to the 24th and said, fuck it, we're going on vacation. So, yeah. But that was the pull list to read this for... Shot 3. For Christmas Eve. So, now we are to the pull list for the week of December 31st. New Year's Eve, people. It is New Year's Eve. 2014 is behind us. 2015 is going to be upon us. Within 24 hours. Can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement? Neither can I. Okay, moving on. Well, DC released a slew of, guess what, weeklies. Batman Eternal 39 came out this week. I'm behind. I need to get caught up. What more can I say? Earth 2 World's End. Number 13. Fight or fall? Fight or fall, I guess. Still behind. Need to get caught up. East of West came out. Number 16 from Hickman and Dragata. I've been enjoying it for the most part. I think the source book I need to flip through. But, shot 4 people. 4 shots. Man, this is going to get you buzzed for the new year. East of West 16. Then we have New 52 Future's End. Looks like little Batman Beyond's getting it on with 52 plastique. Kinky. It's issue 35, by the way. Then Valiant actually popped one out right before the end of the year. Exo Man of War number 31. I've been enjoying Exo Man of War, so you should too. Go check it out. Marvel dropped us big one on us. Huge. I mean, this title is hot. It needed like 50 bajillion different covers. Shield number 1. And just to clarify, it's SHIELD with the periods because it stands for Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement Logistics Division. It's important that you know that. And hopefully this book can tell us why Daisy's important. Because apparently that chick on the show is Daisy, and Daisy's some important girl that pops up that looks like Maria Hill, but it's not Maria Hill, and nobody cares. But Shield number 1 came out. This is my read list. This is literally all of my read list. The other books from my pull list, this is my read list. There is literally nothing out this week. It is such a tiny week. We at the shop only got we got the books for this week last week, so we're tucked in with the shipment. And total, we filled a diamond box, a small diamond, like the one behind my head right here, right there. You see it? See it behind my head right there? Yeah, that one right there. That box. We filled one of those, and that's it. That was everything that came out this week fit in one box, and that's subscribers, and that's wall books, everything. So very, very tiny week. So on a very tiny week, I like to get caught up on some stuff. So I actually went out I picked up 2 trades. First one I picked up was All-Star Western Volume 5, Man at a Time. If you haven't read All Star Western, you need to. This stuff is good. Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray do a fantastic job with Jonah Hex, and I cannot recommend this book high enough. There's one more trade in the series for the series to come out, which is Volume 6. I can't wait to get it. Then next up, I got Charles Soule's Swamp Thing Volume 5, The Killing Field, because Swamp Thing is just amazing, and it makes me cry to think that this book is going to end and Soule's not going to write it anymore, but at least it's being canceled. It's like Animal Man. It's like, I told my story and I'm done. And they haven't brought it back. So, DC, unless you got Charles Soule writing, or you got Scott Snyder writing, or Jeff Lemire writing Swamp Thing with a great artist that can do this type of detail for Swamp Thing, don't do it. Just let it die. Okay? Swamp Thing, Volume 5. So, I know there was a lot to go over. I do apologize. The holidays are a crazy time. Where you gotta shop, you gotta run around, you gotta wrap presents. I decreed to my fiance that Christmas and future Christmases, wrapping of presents will be done the day we get them or the day after we get presents. I'm not wrapping all the presents at one time again. No. Oh, hell no. That it was a 2-night ordeal. So, yeah. But, I'm looking forward to the new year. Had an okay Christmas. Again, I got that Absolute Death from my fiance. Love her for getting that for me. And she also picked me up the Saga Volume 1 hardcover with the, little baby getting a little breastfeeding going on the cover, which is actually how she described it when she walked in, or when she called Ryan at the shop to see if we had it. We didn't, because we sold out, but we're getting it in. So basically, I get to pick one off the shelf and walk out with it. Yay! That makes me feel happy. I got some Hearthstone money, so I could pay to win. I don't pay to win on that game. I just play it and have fun and just want all the cards. I just need them. I want all those cards. They're so... give me the cards. So I've been opening some Hearthstone packs. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone. I just really... It takes me back to when I was a teenager and playing Magic but with this, it's a little more fun, just because it revolves around a lot of skill and strategy. And yes, there's a lot of net decking going on, and people just playing off decks they get off of the internet and stuff. And I mean, I do it too. But again, I try and change up things for cards that I have, cards that I don't have. I'm trying to have a little fun with it. So I did finish my first. Not that any of you care, because this is a comic talking. Supposed to be comics, not games, but I got my first 6-win arena run in Hearthstone. I was pretty impressed with myself, and I happened to open the pack that I got with that, and I got a legendary. That was pretty cool. So, and then I think I lost everything else after that. So, RNG wasn't too good, but yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up because it's been way too long. All right, so. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. Click that like button. Share this, with friends on Twitter, on Facebook. Just let them know. Say, hey, there's this bearded, redheaded guy that talks about what comics he picks up, and it kind of makes an ass of himself. And you can play a shot drinking game with that yawning he does in the thing. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can, if you're on my blog, which is conspiratorbrock.com. These lists are accompanying, or these videos are accompanied with the actual list of books that I get every week, and the links that they are connect you to the Comic Conspiracy's digital storefront on Comixology, where if you click there, we get a little percentage, which we thank you for. We've had a really great year on Comixology, and it's due to you, to people like you who watch this video and also listen to the Comic Conspiracy podcast and want to support us and get your digital comic books. We do appreciate that. And again, any support you want to throw my way, you can throw by clicking on those, unfortunately, on those ads on the Amazon stuff and saying, I want to buy that. Buy it, and I get a little kickback. I actually got my first payment from Amazon advertisers. Thanks for the $14, guys. Woohoo! Appreciate that. Probably go to a comic book movie so I can watch it again. My son loves Guardians. I picked it up when it came out, and he loves it. He's watched it numerous times. He watches it on his new tablet through Google Play. He's just in love with it. We got him a poster. Like he loves Guardians, so it makes me a happy father to see my son like stuff that I enjoyed too. So hopefully one day we can talk about it. You can also support the Comic Conspiracy podcast and myself through the Patreon at patreon.com/the Comic Conspiracy. Any little amount helps. You can donate as little as $1 a month. We are to our backers there. I thank you very much. It does help out immensely. Other than that, I'm tired. It's New Year's Eve. I need to go to bed so I can wake up and it still be New Year's Eve. And then I got to deal with New Year's Day after that. And then I got to go back to work next week. Oh, jeez, such a hard life. But hopefully I'm really hoping to get these stay back and get on track with these pull lists. I do apologize again for the delay for the past few weeks, but it's just been so hectic, especially around the holiday season. So happy holidays to everyone. If you're out partying on New Year's, please be safe, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive. Because I was a bouncer for 8 years. It's going to happen all the time. People just think, oh, they're immune to it, and they're not. So be safe out there. If you're anywhere where it's storming, please stay safe. Be, with friends and family and all that stuff. And we've had a huge wind today. Huge wind for California, but really, really windy today. So I'm surprised the wind hasn't been blowing during this recording. So again, I will be back next year with the same pull list format. Again, leave any comments down below. Let me know how I'm doing on these and so on and so forth. But thank you for watching, and I do hope you have a great new year. And I'll see you next week.